I want to introduce you to Cuban cuisine. Part of any culture is food. As an example, I have been exposed to Cuban food since my childhood. It is important to recognize that the most typical dishes are a blend of diverse cultural influences, most notably Spanish and African traditions. Cuba was a colony of Spain for over 400 years. Many Cuban dishes have their origin in southern Spain, since many colonizers were from that region. The plantain came to Cuba when the African slaves were brought into the colony. For example, twice fried plantains smashed to look like a cracker are the delicious tostones. They are served as a side dish. Cuban food is not typically spicy, but it does have its own flavor and flair. It mostly uses fresh ingredients which grow in abundance in a tropical climate. The Cuban sandwich is quite famous. It is very rich. It consists of ham, pork, cheese, pickles, and mustard, between two pieces of flaky and light Cuban bread. The authentic bread may look like a baguette, but its flavor is quite different. The sandwich is pressed to allow the cheese to melt. Ajiaco is a very hearty Cuban stew. Its history spans many hundreds of years. It has smoked pork or beef and native Cuban vegetables like yuca, also known as cassava, plantains, a white sweet potato that we call boniato, and malanga. Malanga is a root vegetable with a texture that resembles that of a potato. Arroz con pollo translates to rice with chicken. It is the Cuban simplified version of a Spanish paella from Valencia, Spain. The rice is colored yellow with saffron. Ropa vieja is another dish that translates to old clothes. The name is very unusual since it consists of shredded beef cooked slowly with a sofrito or sauce of tomatoes, green peppers, garlic, onions, and herbs. It can best be explained by me by thinking of worn clothes, say rags. Black beans and rice is very common. Black beans, which have been slowly cooked, are served over plain white rice. This is possibly the most typical side dish. I'm hoping this gave you a helpful introduction to this delicious food.